Commissioneers Art of War is a manually played, lane and unit based 1 vs 1 card game. Pick a hero to command your deck of cards, play OCs to fight on the battlefield, use actions to buff allies or take out threats, plan ahead to block your enemy's major gambits, and counter back with powerful hero actions to defeat your opponent. Are you ready to learn the art of war? We'll go through the first 3 turns of a match to show how a game may play out. It's Gazoo versus Zack. By random chance, Gazoo is picked to go first and be player 1 for the turn, making Zack player 2 for the turn. Before the first turn begins, both players draw 8 cards from their main deck and choose 4 to shuffle back into their deck. Afterwards, they both draw a heroic action from their second deck. Heroic actions are very powerful actions exclusive to their hero and all have one use. Now, the first turn begins. At the start of a turn, both players are given coins, increasing based on what turn it is, and then draw a card, unless it's the first turn. Gazoo and Zack are given 1 coin, and it goes to Gazoo's first phase. In the first phase, Gazoo can only play OC cards. OC cards are cards that go onto the battlefield to automatically fight for you. Gazoo decides to spend 1 coin to play Lunatic Officer onto the battlefield. There are 5 lanes to play cards into, and Gazoo chooses to put Lunatic Officer into the second lane. Lunatic Officer, while alive, passively makes enemy action cards cost 1 more coin to play. Gazoo ends their phase, giving Zack second phase. In the second phase, Zack is able to play any of his cards. Zack spends 1 coin to play the OC Doubletons into the third lane, as he cannot afford to play any actions from his hand due to Lunatic Officer. Doubletons has a when played effect to summon an ally Sonneton onto the lane. While you normally cannot have 2 allies in 1 lane, the Sonneton's pair up keyword allows you to have 2 OCs in the lane. Art of War has many keywords that can appear on cards, so learning them and how to strategize with them is a major part of the gameplay. Zack ends their phase, giving Gazoo end phase. In the end phase, Gazoo is given last say and can play only action cards. Gazoo has no coins to spend on action, so moves on to the final phase, combat phase. Combat goes from left to right, having every OC attack whatever is in front of them automatically using their attack stat. If an OC gets attacked, they take damage to their health stat. Lunatic Officer attacks in front of it, but since there's no opposing OCs there, Lunatic Officer attacks Zack instead for 2 damage. When a hero gets hurt, they charge a part of their block meter, which charges up to 4. After Lunatic Officer finishes their attack, combat moves onto the third lane, where Doubletons and Sonneton attack Gazoo for 1 attack each, totaling 2 damage to Gazoo. Even though it's 2 instances of damage, pair-up units cannot make your OCs charge more than 1 block in a lane, charging Gazoo's block meter to 1. Every other lane is empty, so combat ends. After combat, Zack's hero passive activates and does 1 damage to an opposing OC. Zack targets Gazoo's Lunatic Officer, destroying it and putting it into the discard pile. Once combat ends and all end of turn effects are resolved, the turn ends and moves on to the second turn. As turn 2 commences, both players swap who is player 1 and 2. Now, Zack is player 1. Next, both players reset their coins and get their start of turn coins, putting Zack and Gazoo and 2 coins. Lastly, both Zack and Gazoo draw a card, and now Zack's first phase commences. In Zack's first phase, Zack spends 1 coin to play Void Vegetables into the 4th lane, and then passes the second phase onto Gazoo. In Gazoo's second phase, Gazoo plays Snappy in front of the Doubletons and Sonneton. Snappy has the keyword Armor 1, which means that Snappy takes 1 less damage from all sources, meaning it won't take any damage from either Doubletons or Sonneton, as both only have 1 attack. Gazoo passes the turn onto Zack's end phase. In Zack's end phase, Zack uses his last coin to play one of his powerful heroic actions, Focus Blast, which deals 5 damage down the center lane. This wipes out Snappy completely. After this, Zack has no more cards he wants to play and moves to combat phase. The Doubletons and Sonneton attack Gazoo as 1 to deal 2 damage, charging Gazoo's block meter to 2, and then Void Vegetables attacks for 2 damage, charging Gazoo's block meter to 3, 1 more away from full. Afterwards, the turn ends, going to turn 3. At the start of every third turn, Gazoo gets to draw 1 card from their discard pile. However, it's returned with the exhaust keyword attached, meaning it gets expelled after use, rather than simply discarded. Gazoo chooses to pick Snappy to bring back into their hand. Both heroes draw a card and go to 3 coins, and swap the player 1 and 2 roll again. In Gazoo's first phase, Gazoo decides to play Snappy once again, but into the first lane. Snappy threatens Zack with the precision keyword, which means that any damage the OC does will not charge block meter. Gazoo ends their first phase and gives Zack second phase. In Zack's second phase, Zack plays Aster in front of Snappy to protect himself and take out Snappy. Zack has no more coins and ends their phase, giving Gazoo end phase. In Gazoo's end phase, Gazoo uses their last coin on the action Pick Me Up to move Snappy into another lane and give it one more attack, going from 2 to 3. Gazoo chooses to put Snappy into third lane, once again blocking the Doubletons and Sunneton from dealing damage. Gazoo ends their turn and goes to combat afterwards. Going from left to right, Aster attacks Gazoo for a major 5 damage. However, Gazoo is planned accordingly, as their block meter gets charged to 4 from this attack, and it gets successfully blocked, while also setting the meter back to 0. When you block, you prevent that instance of damage from happening, pause combat, and draw a heroic action from your second deck. When you draw this heroic action via blocking, you have the opportunity to use it on the spot for free, or put it back into your hand. Gazoo draws Feralized Enigma, a heroic action that gives an ally +2 attack, +1 HP, and the Unhinged keyword, which means they do a bonus attack after destroying an enemy OC. Gazoo gives this to Snappy, turning Snappy into a 5-3 with armor, precision, and unhinge, and lets combat continue. Skipping the second lane and going to the third lane, Snappy and the Doubleton Sunneton combo fight. Snappy takes no damage from either with its armor keyword and destroys the Sunneton. With Snappy's newfound unhinged keyword, Snappy is allowed to attack again, destroying the Doubleton, and this allows Snappy to attack once again, dealing 5 precision damage to Zack. Afterwards, Zack's Void Vegetables attacks Gazoo for 2 damage, charging Gazoo's block meter back to 1, and the turn ends. This constant back and forth of phases, OCs, actions, and combat continues until either hero is brought down to 0, crowning the other player as victorious. Now that you get the gist of how to play, why not give it a spin? Join the Commissioneers Art of War Discord to train in the art of war.